Hello.
Welcome. I wanted to explain to everybody that Sabrina is one of our recent graduates from the Farm to Fabric to Fashion program that Lee and I created at Polimoda in Florence. And her work, I think, is exemplary because it really brings together all these ideas of being circular and in working closer with animals and the land. So Sabrina, I'm going to ask you to share your screen and show people your amazing work.
Yes.
And talk about where you're from and all of the amazing things you're doing, especially with alpaca.
Hello, everyone. I'm really grateful to be here this afternoon to present my work with alpaca fiber, and I'm mainly working soil to soil. I'm a fashion designer, fashion and textile designer based in Austria. And as Philip mentioned, I did the master in textiles at Polimoda, which is called From Farm to Fabric to Fashion. And for me, it was such a great experience to have all of this expert technical training, the in-depth yarn knowledge that we got, and also the cultural studies. But the most beautiful thing for me was the first semester when we learned about the natural fibers. We heckled flax, we created extreme yarns out of yak and nettle. We spun color cotton on the Beti Chakra, and we felted wool at Claudi Jongstra's biodynamic farm. But somehow for me, the most amazing fiber was alpaca. I really like the comforting and warm feel of it. And the smell is just so calming and nice for me. I think that's one of the nicest things working with it. And the animals are really friendly and cute, I would say. There were also some personal connections that I had with the alpaca. There's a farm close to where I grew up, which is called Wieserhof. It's a farm in the retreat, and Heidi Limminger, the woman who owns the farm, she invited me to come there and really get to know the alpacas, but also how to work with them. And this was really beautiful and easy for me to get into working with this material because it was so great to connect and to be part of the shearing, but also of the fiber processing and to see how a full year works when you have animals and you harvest the fibers from them. Heidi has 20 alpacas on her farm in the mountains, which have a lot of different colors. You can see here they have brown tones, but also beige, white, and black fleeces. So from the beginning, you already have a lot of colors to work with. And the species that she has are the Huacaia alpacas. There's also the Suri alpacas, which have longer hair. But yeah, she has these beautiful animals. Another thing that connected me to the alpacas right away was learning to spin on the spinning wheel of my grandparents, which was amazing because when I was a child, I always saw the spinning wheel at their home and I never really was able to figure out how it would work. I always turned the wheel, but it never, worked for me. So learning to spin with the alpaca fiber at her farm was for me a full circle moment. And I still try to include it into my weekly practice to just spin a little bit on the spinning wheel. I'm not only spinning by hand, I also let my yarn be spun from a spinning mill called Alpaca Wollmühle. And the great thing is that it's really close to me. The fibers are coming from Heidi's farm and they are going directly to the Alpaca Wollmühle to Manuela, which is another great woman who is really open to share all of her knowledge with me. She's really good.
Sorry to interrupt, Sabrina. The slides aren't changing.
Okay.
I was just wondering if you make it full screen, is that going to help? We'll re-edit
It's
now.
not full screen.
Yeah, now they're changing.
Okay.
Let's try like this. If you change once now. No.
No, okay.
Maybe you have to either use the mouse to go down or.
Okay, I will.
I think this is a problem of PDFs. It's
Okay, otherwise maybe if I share my desktop or I reshare.
yeah, we can try that. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. Okay.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it working?
yeah, that's
Okay,
perfect.
perfect.
So I
Super.
don't know if you just want to quickly go over the first few slides just to show people those photos you talked about, and then we'll continue and
Oh, yeah.
we'll edit it later for you.
Okay, so yeah, this is the pictures of the master that I did at Polimoda in Florence. And here is the image of the alpaca fiber and the alpacas I'm working with, and Heidi's farm in Judenburg, which is called Wieserhof. The alpacas in the different colors that I was talking about, and the spinning wheel. And here you can see the Manuela spinning mill, which is also really close to the farm of Heidi and also close to my studio, which is a big luxury because there are not many spinning mills that are working with small amounts, but Manuela is really open to do that, and she has a lot of knowledge when it comes to especially alpaca fibers, but also camel fibers and sheep. And for me, it's just really beautiful to have these women who share their knowledge because there's so much emotion and also so much passion with their experience. It's something else if you just read the page of a book or if you have somebody who shares their knowledge. Yeah, the alpaca in Austria or in Europe, it's really young. It came here in the 80s, and I think professional husbandry happened 20 years ago. But I was really interested to know, to learn more about the alpaca and where it originally came from. It's part of the camelite family, so it has the same ancestors as the camel, and the dromedary. And there is also the guacano, which we already heard something about, and the vicuña. They are the wild species, and then the llama and the alpaca, they are the domesticated animals. They already they moved to the Antilles, and 6,000 years ago, the alpacas have been domesticated, and there they have become really important for the identity, but also for the survival of the people there. And they make just amazing textiles out of their fiber. A big source of inspiration were the books of Nilda Kalanupa. I also met her at Ixtant several years ago, where her beautiful weavings. And in the book that I read of her, which is called Secrets of Spinning, Weaving, and Knitting in the Peruvian Highlands, she also talked a lot about spinning and how important spinning alpaca is for the people in the Peruvian Highlands. Because when they are babies, they maybe play with the spindle, but then when they are children, they learn to spin. Later, maybe they only weave, but when they're old, they start spinning again and therefore stay a valuable and important part of the community, and they are really appreciated for spinning the finest yarns. As you can see here, the textiles are really vibrant and colorful, and they have really intricate patterns. And I think it's really, yeah, specific for this region. I also thought a lot about how I want to work with the alpaca fiber. And I think the landscape where they're living and where their textiles are made, they play a big role in the creation process. And for me, it was important to stay as close to the fleece as possible because I think there's so much inspiration in it and so much beauty that I decided I want to create really raw and natural textiles. Therefore, I also, thought I want not only to create natural textiles, I want to make textiles that that I can bring back to the earth. So they should be born from the earth, but also return to it. I want to create organic wearables, and this was also the first topic. This was the topic of my master thesis, which is called Soil to Soil. And the inspiration came really from nature and from nature's circles. So from going to winter, spring, summer, autumn, because this is also really important for harvesting fibers. There is a time when we harvest the fibers and then when we process it. And these circles, they are not only happening in nature, they also happen in our own lives. We are born, but then we're growing up and we are mature, and in the end we are going back to the ground. And somehow I wanted to express this also with this collection. So I gave my garments different ages, going from youth to adolescence, adulthood, and maturity, because I thought it's not only nature and ourselves that are having this circle, it's also our garments that some time at once going back to the earth. So starting with the Lanugo hair of the baby. It's the first hair that we are having all over the body. And we are shedding it shortly before birth or after birth. And it's really soft and nice. And I wanted to create this through needle felting. I took the alpaca wool, I cut it and combed it, and then needle felted it on top of linen to create this fluffy surface. And I created this really oversized, beautiful outfit out of it, which is really comfortable and wrapped around the human body with these haptic elements like macrame, which also represent when the baby tries to grasp something and discovers the world around it. Then we're going to adolescence. In this age, we maybe have more contrasting thoughts. We are finding our own place in the community and we discover our individuality. These are expressed through black and white weaving with natural alpaca fiber or natural alpaca colors. I wove this on the shaft loom and it's a double cloth, which is wrapped around the body in one piece. So it starts at the bottom and goes around the shoulders and then down through the feet again with some needle felting details around the shoulders and hand embroidery and fringes. Then we are coming to adulthood. Here you can also see the shaft loom on which I did most of my weavings. And for adulthood, I created a really graceful and elegant weaving in white that I created into a coat and a skirt where I used all of the precious long fringed panel. And with it comes a board woven top. And for this top, I took a board from the farm of my grandparents that you can see in the bottom left corner. And through being at this farm for a long time, age has left some sinuous structure on it, and I found it really poetical to weave after this age that time has left on the wood. So through brown and white natural alpaca fiber, I recreated the pattern. And somehow for me, adulthood stands for care and also for responsibility. And I think I also put a lot of care into this outfit. Then next we are coming to maturity. When we are older, we already have some imprints from life on ourselves or in our memories. So I wanted to, somehow capture these imprints through embroidery that I made with the alpaca on natural dyed linen. And as the fur of the alpaca, it's also not so regular anymore. When the alpaca is getting older, it also has more spotty fleece maybe. And with it comes a scarf that is warped on the board, and somehow for me it represents the white braids of old age. And here you can see the outfit with the scarf around the shoulders and the blouse, which is bound, bound around the waistline. I also did the shooting where I asked the models to dress the different looks and then delve into the different ages. So through changing the look, they also had different ages, how in their poses. This collection I also submitted to the Dorothy Waxman International Textile Prize, and I got the honorable mention, which makes me really proud. I presented the collection also at the Vienna Awards and at the Wieserhof, and for me this was a full circle moment because I was able to present the outfits together with my mom and my cousins, and a lot of my friends and family came, and for them it really made sense then what my concept was, and they could really see the alpacas and the place of inspiration for this collection. Now I'm working on a film project, which is going to be shot on 80 millimeters, so on analog film, which I think is really fitting since the collection was created so slow. The film is in a way also created in a slow way and with a lot of handcraft. And with this film, we really want to show the connection between the landscape, the animals, but also we want to show the character of the wool and the textiles that are made from this wool. And I think that somehow really natural fiber has its own personality. And I think it's really beautiful to show this really in big close-ups. And for this film, I'm also creating now some new pieces because I think since we are surrounded by so much man-made environment and by so many screens, there's really a big longing for the wild and natural. And therefore, I create a collection that is more wild, natural, and more rural, I would say. And if you follow me within the next months, I think you will be able to see the film and what, and my next work. Thank you very much, everyone.
So we look forward to this film, which is going to be so beautiful. Thank you so much, Sabrina. We're super thrilled to have you with us, to be part of this group of activist designers who are all incredible people, all of them with degrees of some form. So people that have really studied in depth all of these incredible subjects before applying it to farming and fashion, or farming and textiles. So thank you so much.